The Biden administration has a new plan aimed at tightening security at the southern U.S. border.
President Biden announced that plan today. His administration will expand a legal pathway into the country for some migrants. This new rule will specifically apply to people from Nicaragua, Cuba, Venezuela, and Haiti. However, they could face expulsion under Title 42 if they enter the country illegally.
There are a number of ways to immigrate to America legally under our existing laws. For example, an American citizen can sponsor an immediate family member from another country. An American company can sponsor an employee from another country. There are visas for students to study in our colleges and other special categories. And regardless of the legal pathway they process them to require everyone be involved in following the law. That's the notion. There are laws to get here legally.
More on everything that's just been announced. Let's bring in CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez. Camilo, great to see you. You've been listening to the president's announcement with us. What stood out to you, and what are the key points from the president's speech?
Good afternoon, Errol and Lana. That's right. We just heard President Biden announce a new series of measures that his administration is taking along the U.S.-Mexico border to try to reduce the unprecedented levels of migration that have been recorded there over the past 2 years. There are really two main components to this carrots and sticks, if you will, strategy that the president has unveiled just now. The main component includes an expansion of the Title 42 pandemic restrictions, and this will allow the U.S. to rapidly expel migrants from Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti who cross into the U.S. illegally. That is a significant change in policy because throughout the pandemic, Mexico has generally only accepted the return of migrants from Mexico and migrants from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador into its territory. So it is expanding the nationalities that are now subject to expulsion under Title 42 if they enter the U.S. without legal permission. At the same time, the Biden administration is expanding legal opportunities for migrants to enter the U.S. from these countries. If migrants from Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti have financial sponsors here in the U.S., they may be eligible to come here under the Temporary Parole Authority, which will allow them to work and live here legally on a temporary basis. The administration has announced that it will use about 30,000 spots per month under this program to allow eligible individuals to enter the U.S. under this process. And this is really modeled after a policy, Errol and Lana, that the Biden administration implemented last year to process record levels of migrants from Venezuela. You know, this policy led to a dramatic drop in Venezuelan arrivals along the U.S.-Mexico border. Officials now hope that this will have a similar impact on migration flows from Nicaragua, Cuba, and Haiti, but only time will tell.
So I want to ask you something that I think people will be scratching their heads about a little bit when we're talking about this carrot and stick approach. The Biden administration, President Biden himself just announced that he's expanding the expulsions under Title 42. Just a little bit ago, we heard the Biden administration making an argument before the Supreme Court that they wanted to be able to repeal Title 42. This in many ways, philosophically, is a shift from what the Biden administration had said. How do they reconcile that?
That's right, Lana. This is the latest twist in a complicated and convoluted history surrounding the Title 42 pandemic restriction. This is a public health law dating back to the late 19th century that was first invoked by the Trump administration at the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020. The Biden administration for over a year continued this policy and defended it, saying it was necessary to stop the spread of COVID-19. In April, the CDC tried to stop this policy, saying that pandemic conditions had improved, but then a group of Republican-led states convinced a federal judge in Louisiana to block the policy's termination on technical grounds. Then we saw another federal court in November declare that Title 42 was unlawful and gave the Biden administration 5 weeks to end it. But then we had another ruling from the Supreme Court that has stayed that order from the lower court and that has now kept Title 42 in place indefinitely, at least until the justices decide whether a group of Republican-led states should be allowed to defend this policy in court. So because of this, the Biden administration will continue to rely on this policy to manage migration flows. It is in many ways inconsistent with their prior efforts to try to terminate this policy, but President Biden acknowledged today, Lana, that he doesn't have a lot of tools in his toolbox to deal with this historic numbers of migration, and he urged Congress to reform the U.S. immigration system, which has not been updated, importantly, since the 1990s.
Yeah, he really called out congressional Republicans for not taking up his comprehensive immigration plan, which he said would hire additional personnel, including asylum judges and processing agents.
And he acknowledged
and
this
like
is a stopgap. He says, I'm doing what I can with the tools I have until and unless Congress gets its act together.
All right, Camilo, thank you.
Thank you.